Hello and very good morning to all. Today we are going to study the two important concepts from the fourth chapter of the subject thermal engineering, that is steam turbines. And these two important concepts are bleeding of steam turbine and regenerative feed heating. So let's study what are these two concepts. So first of all, we will study what is the concept of bleeding of steam turbine. In this slide, we can observe the schematic diagram for the bleeding of steam turbine. So it will consist of several number of components such as the turbine, then we are having condenser, hot well, feed pump. So number of feed pumps we are observing here, then boiler, and then back to the turbine. These are all the components involved in this concept. Now first we should understand what is the meaning of bleeding of steam. So bleeding of steam means the process of draining steam from the turbine at certain points during its expansion and then using the steam for heating the feed water which is supplied to the boiler. So we call this process as bleeding of steam turbine. म्हणजेच लक्षात घ्या की आपण ह्याच्यामध्ये नेमकं काय करतोय तर टर्बाईनच्या वेगवेगळ्या पॉईंट्समधून आपण वेट स्टीम जी आहे ती युटिलाइज करणार आहे. कशासाठी तर बॉयलरला जे आपलं फीड वॉटर जाणार आहे त्या फीड वॉटरला हीट करण्यासाठी, आणि ह्या कन्सेप्टला आपण म्हणतो ब्लीडिंग ऑफ स्टीम टर्बाइन. सो वी विल नाउ सी in detail regarding the working of this concept. So in the figure you can observe that in the turbine there are 2 points which are considered for taking out the wet steam. So you can see that point number 1 and point number 2 in the turbine. From these 2 points, some of the wet steam is drained out, and then the steam, we call it as bleed steam. So this bleed steam is circulated around the pipe which is carrying the feed water which is finally supplied to the boiler. In general case, usually we are trying to provide the boiler the feed water which is having the normal temperature, but if we are using this concept, that is bleeding of steam turbine, then we are trying to increase the temperature of this feed water. So first of all you should know what is the actual meaning of again feed water, and it is nothing but the water which is provided to the boiler which will be having the normal temperature, and then in the boiler we are providing heat to this feed water so that it is converted into steam, and then this superheated steam is formed and then it is supplied to the turbine. As this superheated steam passes through the turbines, it gets expanded, and at few points we are draining out this same steam which is called as bleed steam, and we are utilizing this bleed steam for heating the normal temperature feed water. So this will increase the temperature of feed water, and as a result of this we are going to provide the boiler with the hot feed water. Thus it will reduce the heat requirements for the boiler for the conversion of this feed water into superheated steam. So you can understand from this that due to this bleeding of steam turbine, we will be having much less requirement of providing external source of energy to the boiler for heating, so that that liquid is converted into superheated steam. So we can say that this concept will help us to reduce the fuel requirements for this plant. At the same time, it is also important to note down that with the bleeding of steam turbine, there will also be a loss of small amount of work in the turbine. So this was all about the concept of bleeding of steam turbine. And now we will see what is the concept of regenerative feed heating. Now let's study the concept of regenerative feed heating. So you should not get confused with both these concepts, that is bleeding of steam turbine and regenerative feed heating, as both are having the same objectives, that is to increase the temperature of feed water which is provided to the boiler. So both are actually having the same objective, but the method to increase the temperature of feed water is little bit different. So now let's understand what is the difference in case of regenerative feed heating. Just refer to the diagram here which is given. Here we can observe again the components are almost similar. That is, we are having the boiler. After boiler we are having turbine, then we are having condenser, and lastly we are having feed pump. Now let's study how the regenerative feed heating will take place. So we will be starting with the boiler. You already know the function of boiler. Whatever the feed water is provided to the boiler, it will be converted into superheated steam. Now this superheated steam is provided to the turbine, where the expansion of this superheated steam will take place, and thus work will be obtained. After this turbine, we will be having the condensate which is fed to the condenser, and then finally through the condensate will be then fed to the feed pump. Now the actual concept of regenerative feed heating will come here. If we consider the normal working of this plant, then usually what happens is the feed pump is connected directly to the boiler without any changing in the routes. But in case of regenerative feed heating, what actually is done here, you can observe in the figure, the feed pump is not directly connected to the boiler, but its path has been changed. That is, first through this feed pump, the condensate is allowed to flow over the turbine casing, and then this condensate is fed to the boiler. So now you just try to think that why we have done this. If the condensate is allowed to flow over the turbine casing, then during its flow over the turbine casing, this condensate will try to extract certain amount of heat from this turbine. So as a result of this, the temperature of the feed water will be increased, and in this way we are trying to feed the boiler with the heated water. As a result of this, again similar to the concept we have studied earlier, if we are providing the boiler with the increased temperature or the hot feed water, then the fuel requirements will be decreased to a certain extent. Also, you can observe the direction of the superheated steam which is going from boiler to turbine, and the direction of condensate which is coming from feed pump to the boiler. So both are in exactly opposite direction. So we call it as counter flow. Basically, there are two types of flow, that is parallel flow and counter flow. In case of counter flow, we will be getting maximum heat transfer rate, and the same concept is used here. So the superheated steam is going in one direction, and the condensate is coming in another direction, and as a result of this, the maximum heat transfer is possible, and thus hot feed water can be obtained. So this was the simple concept regarding regenerative feed heating. Along with this, we can also discuss what are the advantages and disadvantages of using this concept. So if we consider the advantages of regenerative feed heating, then we are having these advantages in the slide. That is, the thermal efficiency of the boiler increases as the heat input decreases. That's I have already discussed that due to hot feed water, the fuel requirements which are supposed to be provided to the boiler will be reduced as hot feed water is provided. The second advantage is the capacity of condenser is also reduced. Then again, a reduced fuel consumption, that is the cost of fuel will be reduced. And finally, the thermal stresses in the boiler will be reduced as hot feed water is supplied. So these are the advantages of using regenerative feed heating. Along with this, there are also few disadvantages, such as due to this concept of regenerative feed heating, the cost of the plant will be increased, and also the work done per kg of steam is also reduced. So these are the disadvantages of using this concept. So with this, we will stop here today, and we will see the remaining points in the next lecture. So till then, thank you very much.